Well, hi. I haven't played any Blitz, well, I guess for about a week. So I'm exactly 2500. Well, I have played some Blitz, but I haven't really done particularly well, should we say. So I'm going to try and now. Well, this is a key game because I lose this one. Meow. That's my elo drop sound. Meow. And I don't want an elo drop. So I'm going to just play a couple of games of Blitz, half an hour or so. Normally ends up playing for 2 hours when I say that. And just record some videos of my ideas. Now, I wanted to play some more crazy house chess because I'll tell you what, I'm kind of falling in love with that game at the moment. I'm finding it so much fun to play. But hopefully there'll be another occasion, another time for that at some point. So to start with, let's just stick with my standard and fun 3-minute chess because it's quick, it's fast, and I like it. And you got to do things you like in life. That's what I've been told. Okay, so I'm playing a 25-15 from Australia. It doesn't look like he's a title player, but still very high rating. And, well, the opening's been very interesting. Of course, I've just lobbed Harry up the board and created what I would say is some weaknesses around my opponent's position. And now I have a big centre as well. So this looks like a very good opening position to me. I mean, I'd certainly take this. And my opponent is now trying to confuse things, but isn't he just going to confuse himself here? So I can go here, queen here, takes here. And what on earth's happening there? Do I do that, or do I just play something sensible like bishop e3? So there, knight d4, queen here, takes. If I take there, he takes my rook, take here. Well, you know what? I'm gonna just go here to keep the potential. I don't really want to allow his knight to jump in to my position, and this looks like a very sensible way to play. You know, often you don't want to commit with your central pawns against these so-called hyper-modern positions. Hyper-modern is when your opponent fianchettos his bishop early, called hyper-modern because he's trying to force me now to do this, which is a good decision from him. It's called hyper-modern talk and play because it was kind of the approach that people like Nimzovich used a long time ago, and at that time it was considered a new approach, but obviously now it's a little bit dated. Now I'm relying on this move because I really want to try and stop his knight coming into d4, and now he's very sensibly playing this to get knight d4 in. So I have to admit I'm not a massive fan of my last couple of moves. I've played this, should we say, not ideally. I mean, why do I put my queen over here? Now, of course, knight d4. So this is pretty. Queen here. I mean, if I got control of the d4 square, I'd have a lovely position. But I've allowed him this square for his knight, which is okay. Maybe not the end of the world, but it's not ideal either. Okay, well, let's castle and try to play around his fantastic knight. So I'm not going to allow any queen a1 checks, hence moving my king here. And it must be now time to start doing something over here. So, well, let's swap off a defender of his king, if I can, his dark square bishop. The other idea I was thinking of trying to swap his knight off, because then my knight could come into this central square here, d5. Fantastic square that would be. Maybe I could have played knight d5 anyway, in actual fact. And this could just be a race situation, hence why my opponent has gambited a pawn. I'm not really sure what his continuation is. So, okay. So now maybe I have this knight here move, but I don't see... If I go here, is he going to go knight takes there? Well, let's just play this move. This looks like a very sensible move, because if he captures, it opens up my queen to h7. And now, for a couple of exchanges, I feel that he should be dropping the h7 pawn. So this will give me... okay, well, I don't know if that's a mouse slip, but you know what? His position was pretty bad anyway. Probably a mouse slip there. Why did I put my knight there? I put my knight in as much possible danger as I could have there. But okay, I'm a piece up anyway, so it's easy. So I think it was a mouse slip, but he was certainly in a worse situation anyway there, because I was going to win a pawn with a nice safe advantage. So okay, I mean, as long as I don't lose on time, this position is all over. So I'll just try to play a little bit quicker now. And can I do some calculations here? Well, let's go here. No point risking things. Takes... Oh, well, yeah, I win this rook here. No, I don't. What am I talking about? Oh, well. Oh, well, I've lost a piece, but... Oh, God, and my time's going down. Come on, Simon, don't be slack now, boy. Oh, dear. This is a bit silly of me. Okay, well, his only attempt is to win on time, so we're certainly going to try and not allow that to happen, sir. Should be mate. Should be mate. There we go. Whew. I made that a little bit closer than it should be. Well, when they play a move like this, they're basically saying, come on, Harry, come at me. And Harry hasn't been much of a... played much part of the game, and my opponent insists on taking this pawn when I put it there, which I think is just a bad positional move. This is certainly not a setup that I would want to play, because I'm probably going to win this pawn back. It destroys his king side, destroys his pawn structure. If he ever castles, he's opened up the G file. So I think meeting Harry by capturing poor old Harry is simply a bad way to play. And he's trying to get tricky, of course, here now. But let's take with a rook so I don't lose this one. And I don't want his bishop to come here to this square. Maybe I can take his knight off next move and push d4 even. But then knight comes here, it gets messy again. But again, once he's played this move, I mean, you know, his knight is a bit annoying for me here, I have to admit. He has to really castle queenside. This is really his only option. So that's what he's going for. Maybe knight here wasn't right, because I missed he was threatening bishop g5. My simple idea was to put my knight onto f5 and to attack this dark square bishop of his, which I think is okay. And again, even, you know, structurally speaking, at any point, because he's taken Harry off the board, he's weakened h2. But I imagine this game's not going to be defined by positional circumstances. When are any of my games defined by positional circumstances? Okay, so let's finish my development and then decide what to do. So I think he should play f3 here, actually. Maybe f3. Could I take him there if he goes f3? F3 looks correct. Yes, okay, he's played the correct move. But I still figure that this position's just, maybe now I should take this one. I'm not sure. Should I take this one now? It's too late now. I'm just taking it. And try to go d4 at some stage. Is that working? Bishop takes e3. It feels like there's something a bit suspicious about my opponent's position here. Well, I can take here and go d4, trying to fork his pieces. You know, just go d4, try to take advantage of the rather strange positioning of his pieces. Should be looking okay, shouldn't it? Well, let's go for it. You can go queen e1, then he has a pin on my queen, but I move my queen to c8 then. And of course, my simple idea is just to win one of his bits. Okay, so I will take this one. Maybe I could have taken with the knight. Taking with the knight might have been a much safer option, actually, because I've allowed this one. Why? I don't know why I didn't take with the knight. I've opened up this file rather foolhardily, incredibly foolhardily. Now he's taking here. Okay, that was silly. Why? I don't know why I opened up such a line when I didn't need to. The position's still good because two minor pieces. In this case, a knight and a bishop outweighs a rook in nearly all circumstances. The only player who was famous for playing very well with the rook against the two pieces, well, not the only player, but the player I can think of was Macau Tao. He did a number of sacrifices, if you study his games, where he'd give up the two knights, knight and bishop, to try and get that imbalance of material. Okay, his queen's awfully annoying, so I'm gonna try to exchange it or boot it away. And now he wants to check here, which, well, maybe I'll just move my bishop. Check. I have the e7 square, and things look safe enough here. Well, I'm going to go here, so I've just got g7 for my king. And my pieces are all extremely solid here. Okay, you can take this pawn, but I've got two bishops in a very dominating position here. So this should simply be good for me now. And with his time situation. Well, now I'm going to use my other pawn, Ari. He doesn't seem to know how to cope with these little pawn advances. Hence why Harry's going to run all the way up the board. Try to disjoint his position somewhat. And now, see, his pawns are rather weakened here, so I'm going to aim at them. But he can push this one, okay. I'm basically going to try to win on time because he's playing very quick now. And if in doubt, try to win on time. Okay, well, okay, maybe I can try some tricks here. What's happening here? This one. Well, he took far too long in this game. And as soon as he lost his A pawn, it's game over. And if he'd taken my bishop there, just to confirm I had knight b3 check, which would have been pretty scary for him. Okay, well, let's do this again, because I really, if he keeps taking my h pawn, if he keeps taking Harry when it goes up the board, I'm going to be very happy. So, okay, this is a much better approach from him. At least now he's trying to stop this pawn from moving. And a normal move here would be d5. d5 would be the right way to meet this opening of mine, to take something in the centre. I mean, bishop g7, yeah, so he's played this correctly. And I had this kind of thing a number of times where my general plan here is to go queen d2 and to hope they castle, bishop h6, swap the bishops off, h5, checkmate. But I don't believe it, because black should get enough counterplay in these types of positions with c5, something like this, and knight e4. Knight e4 at the right moment is a good way to try to create something in the centre of the board. Because if he goes knight e4 now, I'd probably have to take and go e3, and then I can't play bishop h6 anymore. So this kind of idea seems to be like, you know, black's best way of playing. So this is the other good way. Of course, c5. And now maybe I could have taken on c5, but e3 looks okay. Well, let's take it now, and this way at least I can unbalance the structure somewhat. And here, try to pressurize d5 now. Okay, it's a pawn I've won. I don't normally like giving up the centre like this. You know, giving up the centre in such a way is quite a risky way to play. So I'm being a bit greedy for a change. I'm never been called a greedy player. But, you know, we all have to experiment with greediness, or do we? Am I going to regret my experimentation here? Now, what if I take this one, so I get the e4 square for my knight? How about that for an idea? Let's try this one out. So my knight can try to come into e4, then maybe into d6 or to g5. I don't mind giving up my dark square bishop, because this one is blocked by two pawns, his bishops, so I'm not too concerned. And now I'm going to fight for the central squares. See, his bishop doesn't seem to be a great piece. And here, the idea again, fight for the centre. Okay, well, that's a good move. Missed that one. He's trying to come over here. Now, I could suddenly say shit and start to panic. Shit. Panic. God, I missed that one. That was awfully lax of me. Can I survive tactically with a move like this. I totally forgot his queen could come down to a1, mate. So maybe I've got this counter blow, so I can work against his central position next. You know, take on d4, something like this. I treated myself to a new vaporizer the other day. Suggestion of the other part of GingerGM, Simon Ansell. He's not really ginger, but you know he does the website on Cy Ansell. So, okay. Well, my opponent is merrily swapping pieces off, which I find quite peculiar because, well, he's only one pawn down, and the pawn down is not a particularly good pawn, is it? This pawn here. So it's probably not too bad for him. But okay, my rook seems quite nicely placed. 2 moves, bishop c4, rook d1, and I'm going to be clearly better. So I can't take here because bishop f6. So naturally, oh, I had a check. Why didn't I bloody check there? Really silly of me to do that. Okay, well, I'm going to go here first, and then attempt to take this pawn if I can. And of course, my opponent is aiming to stop that. So let's put my rook back on that square again and play it like this. So, strange maneuver. Now, do I play this one? Try to weaken some squares? Let's use Harry again. Let's use old Harry again to try and create some weaknesses over on this side of the board. You can see I'm trying to force this pawn to move. I have no idea what my opponent's doing, to be honest. No idea at all what he's attempting to achieve here with his moves. Okay, I think he's just trying to move quick, but I don't think his moves are particularly great. So he's just going backwards and forwards, and that's a sign that something is not right. So I'm going to just try to, if he's just going to mess about and play these negative moves, I'm going to just simply move my pieces into his position and try to annoy him like this. I'd like to get my bishop attacking that one, but the other idea I've got is f4 at the correct moment. See, I don't understand what he's doing. He's really not trying to do anything here at all. He's just going backwards and forwards, which is a very, in my eyes, silly way to play. Now, am I trying to make myself? Is my plan a very silly way to play? I don't need to be playing like this. Well, I don't think he's got any checks, so my king seems quite safe to me. And, okay. I think he just he spent too long, lost his time. And again, this is the day of Harry. This is the day. And again, he takes it. I just don't believe this can be the right way to play. It just looks so wrong to me to take this one, because positionally, I just think it looks so suspect. I mean, look, my queen comes out. I have an attack already. Even if my queen has to come back again, you know, knight d5, queen here. Do I go back or do I go forwards? Well, I'm going to keep things nice and sensible, because pawn structure is better. Because he's, again, later on, this structure he's created is just not very good. Okay, now my bishop can come out and pawn out. Let's get these pieces into the game. Now, you should probably try to play for b. Can you play b4 here? Ah. Well, I can go bishop takes, because the point is if I go knight... Oh, I've got check at the end. Okay. So, let's try to hold up any b4 ideas my opponent has. And we're going to play this as well. You know, you can try to win this pawn, but that takes some better time. And now a normal idea would be to take this one off. And of course, just drop back somewhere sensible like here. And play this kind of position. See, he moves so quick, my opponent, but you know, I don't mean to be rude, but well, I was going to be rude. I was going to say I don't agree with his planning. And now a perfect square for the knight is d6, so this is why I moved it here. It's not doing any... also f4 was very tempting. But let's say I put my knight on d6. That controls That controls a lot of the position there. It holds up his pawn, and it's a very nice central square on e7. Didn't have much of a future. Maybe I could have brought it to f4 though. That was another slight problem with my opponent's idea of giving up his g3 pawn. Okay, but he's playing all these rather peculiar moves. Knight here, I'll simply take it and destroy his pawn structure. You know, he doesn't seem to know how to use his pawns, this guy. So I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad for him because he's got more space. He's got more space, and maybe he can play. Maybe he can play the move h4 later on, at some stage. h4 is his next move, isn't it? That's a bit annoying. So, and if I go here, he goes bishop here. Okay, probably overestimated my position here. He should certainly play h4 here. Now that looks so suspect to me. Putting his king there. Right, I'm going to reroute my bishop now to this square here. Okay, maybe I'm probably just being a bit too negative about his playing this game because he's got rook c1 bishop here now. But why did I put my bishop here? You know what? I'm not entirely sure. I thought I would be able to now castle and get some threats over here, but if my opponent's able to maybe get bishop b4 and d6 in, I'm going to have to answer with c6, keep things closed. And my long-term plan is to castle queenside. Maybe get a rook to g8 and go g4. And my bishop on b6, lovely, lovely piece, that one. And I wanted to put my bishop on this diagonal. It just seemed a bit more... Get those sound effects going. Oh, I wish I'm going to do that when I play my next game. And point to where my bishops are going. Okay, so I've totally missed this move. And that seems like a very good try from my opponent, actually. Kind of move that, you know, if you miss, you get very scared of. Whoa, it's a nasty one. I mean, it might be a load of rubbish, but it's a scary load of rubbish. Okay, so he's trying to scare me. Is he going to take here next? What's he going to do? What's his plan? What's his plan? Hey, what's your plan, son? Okay. Well, I don't understand my opponent's sacrifice. Does anyone understand his sacrifice? Well, there we go. Ah, he's had enough of h-pawn. He's declined my challenge. He's had enough. Well, there you go then. So that is the problem with when anyone uses this technique. Let's just see what he... okay, well, he seemed quite nice. Okay, he seemed quite nice because he said, thanks, well played. God, I hope I wasn't too rude about his play there. I'm sure he's a... good. I better say thanks. I mean, I hope I wasn't too rude. The only thing I'd say about his games there, I don't mean to be too rude. Okay, so I've got an exception from someone else, is that when you push the h-pawn all the way up the board and they take it, it's just not, in my opinion, a great way to play. But I mean, the other parts of the game he played well, but I just think his tactic there of meeting the Harry push by capturing it is one of the worst ways, and hopefully you can see why. But a little bit of tips. Today's going to be, because Harry's been sleeping recently. Today I'm just going to play a couple of games because I've got some things I need to do after this. But it's going to be a day of the Harry push. So I need to get Harry pushing again. And this line now, h4, I have in the killer d4 DVD. So this is all in the DVD. I have to give it a slightly different structure because knight c5, f3. Can he go knight h5 there? Okay, well he's avoided that, which I have to say I'm quite happy about. See, this is a better way to deal with Harry. Stop Harry in his tracks. Don't take him when he goes up the board. And a little hint, whenever I push Harry, parry? Who the hell's parry? That's the P line. The only time I really go for this is when my opponent has fianchettoed. Because I need a target to attack. And that target is this g6 pawn. So that's when I start lobbing Harry up the board. Okay, my opponent's playing nice and aggressively here. And he's trying to create some stuff over on the queen side, but I haven't committed my king yet. I mean, my king can still castle kingside here. So b5, which he played instantaneously, seems like a move that you would normally want to spend a lot of time calculating, because he's given me a pawn on c6 now, and I don't really see where his counterplay is coming from. Okay, well maybe my last move was not. Okay, well I don't see why I can't swap off now. I've got this extra pawn, and now that I've eliminated all of his knights from the board, he can't get a knight to this square here. That would be problematic if he could get a knight there. But okay, it's not so bad for him, is it? Because I'm going to lose this pawn. I want to get a knight to this square myself. Can I go here and take with a knight so I get this square for my rook? And if he doesn't take, then my knight comes here. This is a way to play the position, maybe. And if he takes, I can also put a rook on d7. Should be slightly better for me, this kind of position. I mean, I could have played it a bit more demanding. And now, well, I did say it would be a day of Harry, so it would be rude not to use Harry to move up the board here. And actually, all of a sudden, there's some little annoying things that my opponents deal with here, because God, Harry's such a champ today. He's such a champ, Harry the H-pawn. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I should get some t-shirts done, like Harry is the champ, something like that? Dirty Harry t-shirts. Maybe I could get some t-shirts going. I'll answer that later because we have an important game of chess to play. Okay, right. So, well, let's just try to mate him. Put my rooks where they're gonna be annoying. And he's got this move. Oh, that's annoying. So, and if I take here, it opens up his bishop. Do I want to open? Okay, well, if I need to win the game, I'm gonna have to take some risks. So, I didn't really want to open up this piece, you see, but I have done. Sorry, I'm just talking slowly there because I was trying to work out what the meaning was of his last move. I still haven't quite got it. See, this is the thing I wanted to avoid, opening this guy up. But I'd love to get my bishop. Let's get my bishop somewhere better. He's going to come around here for his rook, isn't he? And try to start annoying me over here. Yeah, okay. This was the problem. And if his rook gets down here, quite annoying. Okay, well I'm going to try to bring my king towards the centre then, I guess. Yeah, I don't like the way I played this, I'll be honest. Don't like the way I played this. 2 pawns though, 2 pawns. Now, yeah, this is silly. Okay, I'm going to put my bishop here. This is my plan all along. But problem is, if his rook comes around to a1, he's gonna his pass pawn is much more dangerous than mine. So, okay. Now, can I take that and come round? I hope so. Hope I can come round the angles here. This is what I'm hoping for. Time, Simon, time. Okay. Being a very annoying man, isn't he? But you know what? 2 can be annoying. There you go. Put that in your proverbial pipe and smoke it. Right, this will be the last game, whatever, because I've got some stuff to do. What should we try today? Should we go for a black line? Let's go for a black line. And I've been talking to ChessBase releasing this black line DVD. Very interesting way of meeting e4. Very interesting way. It's been a while since I played this, so I'm trying to remember some of the theory here. So I hope I don't get this wrong. This is a pawn sack line which I recommend in the DVD, but remembering the theory is one thing. And this, see, I'm playing a very strong player, I am, and this is the kind of pawn sack line where, you know, if white's not paying attention, you could just smash him off the board immediately. And the DVD, I'm not releasing it through GingerGM. ChessBase are doing this one, so they've got lucky dibs on the black line DVD. So that'll be coming out in summer sometime, that DVD. So stay. Yeah, again, sorry, you can see when my chat slows down. It's thinking time. So stay alert for that one, because this will explain how to play this opening. And I'm trying to remember what I do in the DVD. So okay, so my opponent's got castles, so he's maybe over the worst, but I got my pawn back, so I've no longer sacrificed anything here. Maybe he's considering some knight takes c6s, but my pieces are nicely developed. I'm going to castle kingside. You always get an interesting black line game. A lot of people have asked me the question, what should you do in the black line when the opponent plays the way that my opponent did here with... do I really want to treat this knight? I don't think so. This one, maybe? My bishop hanging then? Do here. Do I move this bishop away? Decisions. Let's move this away so I avoid any tactics on this one. Now my queen. Okay, let's just move it here for now, so I don't get hit on the file. But maybe this is bad because I'm just losing this pawn. I was hoping to get some. Compensation with by sacrificing this pawn. Well, I thought I had bishop a3 as well, but that's not working, is it? Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, it's not the end of the world if one pawn drops in this position, because it's opposite side castling. So a measly pawn is of really not any significance here. And that's why I'm not going to worry about him. Well, I'm doing this to over defend my bishop in a lot of positions now. The target that I see I want to attack is c2, hence why I've left this rook to come into c2. Do I take with the rook or with the queen? I want to take with the queen to get my queen a6, try to target over here. I like this bishop. If my bishop gets to e4, then that's a beautiful square. And again, like I said, when you're playing chess, you've got to try to find targets in the position, and then you've got to attack them. So this is exactly what I'm doing here. I'm targeting c2, and now, as I said before, my other target was to try to hit here. Look at my bishop. My bishop seems a lot more useful than my opponent's bishop, and that's a good move for my opponent to try and... Well, if I take, he's got a back rank checkmate. I don't want to swap queens off, because I'm still thinking that his king's in more danger. Now, b3, I check him, queen b2. b3 should be played. Do I have to come back with my queen? I don't want to come back with my queen. Check here, queen here, queen here. He keeps going backwards and forwards. Okay, well, let's give him a check and try to... Okay, the only way I can try to play for a win now, put the queen here. Again, I just want to get my bishop to this square. This is the key square. And now if he doesn't sack the exchange, which I'd be very tempted to do in his situation, because this is an awfully strong piece, I'm now going to use my queenside pawns. The typical pawn storm. Opposite side castling, you can use your pawns, which my opponent very cleverly is trying to do here as well with that. That's a very, very good move by my opponent there. He's trying to bring his queen into play here. Oh, he's pawn storming. Okay, well, this looks like fun, doesn't it? We can both play this game. And who is going to storm the ranks first? Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? And now I have an idea. Get my queen over to that square. Is it time to swap off queens? Maybe. Maybe I don't like that, because I don't like that last move of mine so much, I have to be honest. Okay, well, it's a race. So in a race situation, he wants to go h5. I want to get my rooks into the attack. So this is why we are playing in this manner here. Bishop c2 mate is my idea in this structure. So he's given up that one to stop the mate and come around here. Okay, so And obviously don't want to draw here, but it's a way to be a bit cheeky and gain a bit of time. And there we go. Well, that was a better day of chess. Not too bad about that. Gained 47 rating points. Back on track. That's the way life should be in the GingerGM hood. And okay, well, that was a day of Harry, I think, and a little black line thrown at the end. So obviously my aim now, after being inspired by David Howe, and if you saw my tweet, David Howe, after our broadcast, went and crushed Hikaru Nakamura in 10 moves. So that was a blooming brilliant game. I obviously warmed him up nicely. So there we go. And thanks for watching the video. Please like, please subscribe. I try to explain the ideas a little bit more there for a change, you know, because I normally just get carried away with my madness. But I might even have put another video up later and try to get to 2600 today. Just, you know, punt it up, and then it will be 2700. I'm going to get there one day. I'm going to get there. I think I'm playing well now. The lack of alcohol in my system, it's been a week and a half, I'm going for a month, is certainly maybe my brain is clearing up. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Or maybe I need alcohol. I don't know. We'll find out soon. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with more mayhem very soon. Oh yeah.